A full year had slipped by since I disappeared without a word. No goodbye, no note, no clue about my destination. Some might call that cruel, but when your heart has been fractured by betrayal, kindness isn't your priority. Survival is. I believed I'd buried that chapter of my life, sealed it shut, and cast the key into the abyss. Yet the past has a peculiar way of resurfacing, especially when it carries a familiar fragrance, murmurs your name in a tone that haunts, and appears when you're least expecting it. On the morning she found me, I was at my regular cafe, immersed in my daily routine. Everything was ordinary until it wasn't. Her presence struck me before my eyes even registered her form. Like a ghost, she appeared as I turned. The woman who once promised forever. The same one who broke me apart. She stood motionless, her appearance worn, not harshly, but as if life had been unkind since I'd gone. I should have felt a flicker of victory, a sense of vindication. Instead, a cold shiver ran through me. "Hi," she whispered gently, as if the ruins of our history didn't exist, as if she hadn't burned everything we'd built. I remained quiet. She stepped nearer. "Can we talk?" My gaze locked onto hers. This wasn't supposed to happen. She was meant to have moved on, erased me from her world, as if I'd never been part of it. Yet there she stood, her eyes filled with something, maybe regret, or perhaps just the fear of being alone. My voice emerged softer than I meant it to. "Why now?" She blinked, her gaze falling to her restless hands. "I couldn't stop thinking about you, about what I did to us." My jaw clenched. It wasn't anger, it was a deeper pain, the kind that lingers in silent moments. I'd lived in that silence for 12 months. Her betrayal wasn't a loud catastrophe. No shouting, no clandestine meetings in hotel rooms. It was subtle. Tiny lies, too many late evenings, and one careless text she didn't bother to delete. The words still seared my mind. "I'm already missing you. Last night meant everything." My heart shattered like delicate glass crushed underfoot. That was the night I vanished. No confrontation, no heated argument. I didn't let her see how deeply her actions cut me. I simply left. Now she stood before me, trying to heal a wound she'd caused. "I messed up," she said softly. I nearly let out a sharp laugh. "Messed up? No. Forgetting your keys is a mistake. Choosing someone else's bed while I work 2 jobs to secure our future. That's not a mistake." My voice was firm as I asked, "What do you want from me?" Her eyes, wide and pleading, met mine. "I just want you to hear me out, to understand my side. Please." I owed her nothing, not after all that had happened. Yet a part of me, perhaps for my own closure, needed to listen. I nodded toward the street. "Walk with me." We moved in silence at first, the drone of passing cars and the rhythm of our footsteps filling the space. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she started. I stayed silent. I felt so alone, so unseen. "You were always working, always drained." There it was, the justification, an excuse dressed as an explanation. I'd rehearsed this moment in my mind countless times, and it still stung like a fresh cut. I was breaking myself for our future. I said, my tone even but cutting. I was giving everything to us. She stopped walking. "I see that now. I didn't then." Her voice trembled, and for a brief moment, I believed the regret in her eyes. But it didn't change a thing. "You didn't just break my trust," I said. "You broke me." Tears shimmered in her eyes. "I'm so sorry." I nodded slowly. "I believe you're sorry, but apologies don't rebuild what's gone. They don't erase the nights I spent alone, wondering what I did wrong." She shook her head. "I wasn't trying to replace you. It was a brief, stupid mistake." "That brief mistake destroyed everything," I countered. Silence settled again. She reached into her coat, pulling out a folded letter. "I wrote this weeks ago but couldn't bring myself to send it." I took it, holding it without opening it, feeling its weight in my palm. "I'm not here to win you back," she said, her voice barely audible. "I just needed you to know you mattered to me, and you still do." She stepped back, waiting, perhaps hoping I'd say something, offer a gesture, or crack open the door to reconciliation. But I couldn't. Love doesn't always survive betrayal. Sometimes it just fades quietly into the emptiness. I looked at her one last time. Take care. Her face faltered, but she didn't protest. She nodded and turned, her silhouette shrinking into the distance. This time, I watched her go, feeling no anger, no pain, just a quiet peace. Closure doesn't always mean a second chance. Sometimes it's the understanding that you were strong enough to leave and wise enough to keep moving forward. That day, as I walked home, I felt lighter than I had in months, not because I'd forgiven her, but because I'd finally forgiven myself.